Let's get to Kerry Roberts now. Very, very interesting testimony today. We heard some, again, I talked about this earlier, some possible perjury. And Nan can probably attest to that a little bit more as we move through. We also heard Kerry Roberts get a little snippy at AJ today and ask who the person was that wrote the report that they were discussing. And AJ just said, listen, basically, I'm the lawyer here. I ask you questions. You don't ask me. And he basically said, why would you ask me that? Is there a certain reason about a certain person writing this report?
That was unbelievable when that happened.
I've never seen it.
That means that she was coached on that.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly what's in that report. I don't remember particularly what the issue was. But if the witness is going to ask a question and draw a line of distinction like that, like who drafted that report, or wasn't it so-and-so that drafted it, that's attorney coaching. Yeah. And it is a sign that she's lying. So
and she gets buried today.
Yeah.
And she buries herself. And you know what? The funny thing is I want to bring this up. Kerry Roberts today and Peggy O'Keefe today essentially made statements and confirmed that Karen had dropped off John at 34 Fairview. They confirmed it today. And I remember I wrote that down in my notes. I was like, and then Kerry even said, I didn't want to get accusatory towards Karen because I didn't know what happened.
Right.
And I thought that was very interesting as well, too. All right, let's play through this. I know everybody's waiting for this. Here we go.
Him off.
In the car on the way to the hospital. She said it to Mrs. O'Keefe.
When you were outside trying to help John, were you ever told where the defendant dropped John off?
No.
Were you ever told where he was left?
No.
Was it ever suggested that he went into 34 Fairview?
No.
Was it ever suggested that he went into any house whatsoever that morning?
No.
Were you ever asked to go into the house to look for him?
No.
When you were being interviewed by
Gotcha. Come on, Todd. What'd you hear?
Gotcha.
What'd you hear, Todd?
Influenced. Say the whole word, Brennan.
When you were being influenced, interviewed.
Freudian slip.
Ooh.
What's in the subconscious of the brain, man?
Yeah, Gretchen already had it in the chat. Influenced by Jennifer McCabe. Absolutely. Oh, I heard that today. I was like, what? And I'm going to go back because I want to hear that again. Here we go.
Or Fairview?
No.
Was it ever suggested that he went into any house whatsoever that morning?
No.
Were you ever asked to go into the house to look for him?
No.
When you were being interviewed by law enforcement, did you ever refuse to be interviewed?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Were the interviews all the same or different?
They were all different.
Were you ever asked to give a complete review and detail of everything that you knew?
I was just asked to tell me the story of what happened that morning.
And at some point when you were interviewed, you were asked about the phone calls that the defendant made to you that morning at 5:00.
Yes.
When you received those phone calls, Jennifer McCabe was not on the line, was she?
No.
Was she a party to the calls?
No.
Did she influence your memory in any way about the words that the defendant spoke to you that morning?
Objection.
I'll allow that. No.
Do you have a clear memory of what the defendant said to you on the morning of January 29th, 2022 at around 5 a.m. when she first called you?
Yes.
Is it your independent memory?
I'm saying.
Is it your independent memory?
Yes.
How well do you remember it?
Objection.
Sustained.
Tell us what you remember her saying to you.
Objection.
I'll allow it. When she first called, she said, John's dead, Kerry, and hung up.
And she called you back.
She called back.
When she called back, was there any other party on the line other than you and her?
No.
What do you remember the second time that she called you?
Yes. She said, John, I think he got hit by a plow. He did not come home last night. He would never not have come home. I wasn't supposed to stay in Campton, and Kaylee was here. He would never leave Kaylee by herself.
There you go. I mean, that's a good admission right there. I mean,
It is a good admission. It is a good
he
admission,
said
and
that John might have been hit by a plow.
yeah. Now I have reason to believe that that conversation actually did not go down the way it went down, but I'll hold that aside for a moment. With regard to, I just want to make a comment. If anyone is not annoyed by the leading questions that Hank gets away with asking on direct exam, you will now. I've ruined it for you. He's not supposed to do this. He's not supposed to suggest answers. He's not supposed to give descriptive words and his own characterization of evidence, etc., in the question. And she, meaning Judge Bev, is allowing it. So I understand that the defense doesn't want to just waste a bunch of objections and get the jury to be annoyed with the defense by just consistently objecting, especially when you have a judge who doesn't seem to sustain those. But it's really, it's just something I would point out to all of you, that keep an eye on who's using those descriptors, because what I'm seeing is a disconnect between what's being asked and what the witness is giving.
Yeah. He's queuing her up all
Big
along.
time.
Yeah.
I want to get to AJ here. Let's speed up.
Video before today.
Yes.
Did the defendant did you volunteer to, do you know?
We're after a break. Here we go. All right, let's hear Alan Jackson. All right, here we go.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Brennan.
When you first got to John and you were trying to save him that morning, do you have a
Where's Alan Jackson?
By Mr. Lau,
All right, here we go.
did you ever say,
It's what happened.
Sorry, everybody. All right, we'll just start
All
here.
right, go ahead, Mr. Brennan.
He's got one
when you
follow-up.
first got to John and you were trying to save him that morning, do you have a distinct memory of it?
Yes.
Counsel had asked you if it was your story. Was this a story?
Say it again.
Was it a story that you told?
A story?
Yes.
It's what happened.
Do you wish it was just a story?
She called it a story, by the way,
Yeah.
earlier.
Okay, so recross.
Is a recross from Alan Jackson?
just a few minutes ago, did you ever say that you actually heard that statement about that Google search? And you said no.
Correct.
The question that
Now,
was posed,
keep in mind here, she has daggers for Alan Jackson right now. You could see it. I mean, she's tuned up right now because she knows that he's got her. He's got her right now at the tip of his fingertip.
to you by Mr. Lally was what, if anything, did she, Miss Reed, ask Miss McCabe while they were sitting in the back of the cruiser that you heard,
Right.
correct?
I misunderstood the
And
question.
you misunderstood that question?
Yes.
What
I
did you
did.
misunderstand about that question?
I didn't know it was that you heard, so I was explaining what happened in the back of the car.
I see. So you just ignored the part, literally, the part of the question where he said, what did you hear her say? That's what your
I think the word
testimony
was
is now?
heard, and I didn't hear it. I obviously got the question wrong because I did not hear anybody ask about a Google search.
Well, I know that's what you're saying now. I get that. But when you were asked, what, if anything, did she ask Miss McCabe while they were sitting in the back of the cruiser that you heard? Your immediate answer was, at one point, she asked her to Google hypothermia and how long dash Google hypothermia, end quote. Correct?
Correct.
That was your answer,
Yes.
correct?
To a question I misunderstood.
And that was a false statement, wasn't it?
Technically.
Technically?
Yes.
It's like being a little
Technically.
bit pregnant, Ms. Roberts.
Okay, so remember, jurors, I said earlier, comments of counsel are not evidence and you're to disregard them. Ask a question.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oops.
What do you mean technically?
Technically, I was under oath and I did not hear Karen asked Jen to Google it.
And yet under oath,
I'm going to pause here. Man, she just said technically I was under oath.
It's
That's
bad.
not good for the record.
This is bad for her. I mean, I know I
It's
have not.
disastrous for the Commonwealth.
It is. This is going to come back to haunt the Commonwealth. Now, one thing I can say with certainty is that I have not been following. While I've put some commentary on social media today, what I haven't done is look at what the other side has been saying. But I will say that there is nothing good that has come out of Kerry Roberts' testimony. I also don't want to critique the defense for not crossing her in 1.0. In 1.0, I felt that her testimony was like neutral. Okay, she didn't hurt us. It is what it is. That's fine. We were going to economize our defense. But here, the gloves were off. The punches, none were pulled. And she perjured herself. And this is also you're going to see this. You're going to see this with Jen McCabe.
Oh, gosh.
You're going to see the things like, well, I didn't hear
Rocker.
that, or I misunderstood this, or I thought you meant that. One thing I would also point out while I'm speaking on this subject is I also detected an air of Jen McCabe in the "can you show me" type of approach. Like this annoys me. And Alan Jackson, with all due respect, you should stop that. You should stop kind of giving this openness to refreshing recollections. I happened to be listening, and I think you were too, Brian, to Andrea Burkhart this morning. And, she and I have a very similar philosophy on this, which is you kind of have to take the approach like, well, do you deny having said that? You said this at a prior proceeding. Do you deny it? Let them say, I deny it. I did not say that. But this, let me see what you're talking about. Can you show me this? Who drafted that report? It creates like wiggle room for the witness to kind of
refresh their memory. Like, what did I say? How can I get through this lie? Navigate my way through this road.
This is perjury, plain and simple, and I'm here for it.
This is why you never script your testimony.
Yes.
Never script out your testimony. Just tell the truth. It's the line of questions are 100% unpredictable. And eventually you're going to get crossed up in your own words, and we're watching it play itself out.
Todd, you've probably seen that in your career through investigating, writing down statements, and asking questions again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you only ask questions you know the answers to.
Yeah. And that's the thing. When you lie and you compound lies, at some certain point, there's so many lies out there, you're not going to get it straight because you're going to get tripped up. And she got tripped up here. Let's go back and finish up the battle with AJ. I'm just going to go back a little bit before we start so we can hear that beautiful moment again.
Long dash Google hypothermia, end quote. Correct?
Correct.
That was your answer.
Yes.
Correct?
To a question I misunderstood.
And that was a false statement, wasn't it?
Technically.
Technically?
Yes,
You're
technically.
getting pregnant, Ms. Roberts.
Okay, so remember, jurors, I said earlier, comments of counsel are not evidence and you're to disregard them. Ask a question.
Thank you, Your Honor. What do you mean technically?
Technically, I was under oath and I did not hear Karen asked Jen to Google it,
And yet under oath.
but I knew it happened at that
And yet
time.
under oath, you said you did.
Correct.
And that was a lie, correct? Yes.
Was that a lie? Did you lie?
I did not intentionally.
But you did.
And
Not intentionally.
okay, that's the end of
Understood
this.
the question, Mr. Jackson.
All right.
Ooh.
Save me. You see that save me judge look?
Yeah.
She was like, help me. She was in it deep there.
And by the way, Judge Bev should never have protected her. That was fair game. And it gives the wrong message to a jury. When the judge is sitting there kind of playing protector, that makes it sound like and appear like Alan's being a bully. And he's not. He's being a zealous defense lawyer who found an inconsistency and is pursuing his right, his constitutional right of his client to impeach that witness, who's going to say things like, I technically perjured myself or I technically lied. There is, I think I said it earlier on X, like an unintentional lie is a lie. It is a lie. So she can get as cutesy as she wants. And I saw some you put a comment up that, I'm not looking at your chat, but you put a comment up that said something like she's shopping for lawyers today.
Yeah.
That she's doing. And also, I think one of the takeaways I have from this is she's talking to Jen McCabe today, too. Jen had to wish her good luck, which is also improper. That should never have happened. They're witnesses in this matter. There's a sequestration order. You don't wish someone good luck. I'm interested to see how that pans out in the future as well when McCabe testifies.
Yeah. Before I go to Todd for comment, I just want to get this in. The bottom line is this. all hands are on deck here. All gloves are off. Like, look, you've all compiled this bullshit story and put Karen Reed in this position. I don't feel bad at all if AJ or anybody on Karen's team gets nasty with these witnesses.
Yep.
You all put Karen here, an innocent woman, in this position. So I saw a question today, and I think I'm not saying anything against Peter Tragos, but I think he was just in trying to get some action on X. But he said, we asked the question, do you think Alan Jackson went too hard on Kerry today? No, I don't, because I think that they deserve this. You've all, like I said, you've all fabricated this story together. You've doctored evidence. You've doctored documents. You've spliced up videos. You've erased videos. And you've all put this on Karen. So you have everything coming to you in that courtroom, in my opinion, and you deserve it. Todd, comment.
Brian, can you go back to the last image of Kerry in that freeze frame?
Ooh,
I want the viewers to take a look at the face. And I think it was M99 called it right out. The look of contempt.
yeah.
And Bev threw her a complete lifeline. And this is what I'm talking about when there's more meat on the bone. That was an opportunity for Alan Jackson to go even deeper into, this is recross at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
There was a much further for him to go and attack based on the direction that he was taking her. And she got completely let off the hook.
I agree. And it disrupts the flow. When the judge steps in, it distracts the attorney a little bit. It disrupts the flow. It de-escalates a jury. It's all wrong. She should not be doing that.
I got to go to one of my favorite movies, but Few Good Men, when I forget who it is. One of the accused is on the stand, and I forget his name, but he gets into a position and he's going, Hal, and he goes to look at the judge because he wants help from the judge.
Downey.
Yes, Downey.
Yeah, Loudon Downey.
Who's the prosecutor?
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon goes, don't look at the judge, because he's looking for help. It would have been great.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It's movie, it's theater, but it would just been a great moment. Like, don't look at the judge. She's not going to save you.
That's right. That's right. This is really, it's good, important things that you're all seeing here, because this is a lesson of what shouldn't be happening in a courtroom.
Yeah.
Ms. Roberts made a noose and she was there to hang herself today, and Alan should have been able to do that, but he did. He was successful. Don't get me wrong.
Brilliant.
Whatever the body is showing, it's because it's leaking from the brain. That's a physiological sign in every human being. And in the court of law, there's lots of tells.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. I love it, Todd. I love it. All right, let's hear Kerry a little bit more in the hot seat here.
I see. So you just ignored literally the part of the question where he said, what did you hear her say? That's what your testimony is now?
Heard, and I didn't hear it. I obviously got the question wrong because I did not hear anybody ask about a Google search.
Well, I know that's what you're saying now. I get that. But when you were asked, what, if anything, did she ask Miss McCabe while they were sitting in the back of the cruiser that you heard, your immediate answer was, at one point, she asked her to Google hypothermia and how long - Google hypothermia, end quote. Correct?
Correct.
That was your answer.
Yes.
Correct?
To a question I misunderstood.
And that was a false statement, wasn't it?
Technically.
Technically?
Yes,
You're a
technically.
little bit pregnant, Ms. Roberts.
Okay, so remember, jurors, I said earlier, comments of counsel are not evidence and you're to disregard them. Ask a question.
Thank you, Your Honor. What do you mean technically?
He thanks her.
Technically, I was under oath and I did not hear Karen asked Jen to Google it,
And yet under oath.
but I knew it happened at that
And yet
time.
under ooth you said you did.
Correct.
And that was a lie, correct?
Objection.
Was that a lie? Did you lie?
I did not intentionally.
But you did.
And
Not intentionally.
okay, that's the end of
Understood
this.
the question, Mr. Jackson.
All right, is there any other question or is that it?
I didn't know what you just
Right
said.
there.
I said I misunderstood the question, Mr. Jackson.
Dismisses her.
That's what you're saying now, correct?
That's what happened.
All right,
Can I ask one more question?
okay.
In that quote, you said, at one point she asked her to Google hypothermia and how long? Then you corrected yourself and finished with Google hypothermia. What did you mean by how long? What were you about to say?
I don't recall.
Of course you don't.
Yeah. So now the tough questions are coming in. So now we're going to play the I don't recall, I don't remember game because you got caught.
Brian,
is,
watch the rapid eye blink as well. That's just like toe tapping or
it's a tell. Yeah.
tapping on
Love
the
it.
table.
Yep. Here we
I
go.
love Todd's insight.
I do too.
How long?
I don't recall. I don't recall.
Like, for instance, how long to die in cold?
I don't recall.
Okay.
That's
All right,
it.
Ms. McKay, I'm sorry.
Whoops.
There's so many Freudian slips. But even Bev called her Miss McCabe.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
It's so good.
Can't make it up.
You can't.
No, this was great. This was an absolute win. Nuttall was a win. Roberts was a win. I think you were going to talk about Peggy O'Keefe.
We're going to talk about that right now in a second here.
That somebody posted on social media, and I think it might have been Plevin. Somebody posted and said, like, look at this. All of the Free Karen readers are celebrating at how well they're doing, and they have no idea what they're talking about. I was like, are you kidding me? Tell me anything positive that has come out of a prosecution's witness thus far. So this is going in very well.